Hey there, middle school. Today is a monumental day. Do you know what today is? Go ahead, check your calendar. I'll wait. No, today is the day that, I'll let you know in a few minutes, but let's go sing.
This is a day that the Lord has made, I will rejoice, and be glad in it, For this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Oh, this is the day that the Lord has made. This is the day that the Lord has made, I will rejoice, and be glad in it, For this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Oh, this is the day that the Lord has made. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine all the time. Let it shine, oh yeah. Hide it under a bush, oh no! I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bush, oh no! I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bush, oh no! I'm gonna let it shine all the time. Let it shine, oh yeah. Don't let Satan it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Don't let Satan it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Don't let Satan it out. I'm gonna let it shine all the time. Let it shine, oh yeah, all around the neighborhood. I'm gonna let it shine all around the neighborhood. I'm gonna let it shine all around the neighborhood. I'm gonna let it shine all the time. Let it shine, oh yeah. Jesus is the light. I'm gonna let it shine. My Jesus is the light. I'm gonna let him shine. Jesus is the light. We're gonna let him shine all the time. Let him shine, oh yeah.
Now, back to what I was saying about this being a monumental day. Can you guess what today is? Go ahead and guess. Guess out loud. I'll give you a hint. There will not be another day like today. Wait, what did you say? No, you, right? Yeah, right. Okay, right, yeah. Today is the last recorded chapel of the year. So, I have the distinct privilege and challenge to present the gospel this one last time. Unless, of course, you go back and watch the YouTube channel, look up Columbia Christian on YouTube and rewatch these. Fierce in life. Living fiercely isn't actually all that difficult, but living fiercely for Jesus is something a bit different. Living fiercely for Jesus does not come without its challenges. Reading the Bible through all the amazing things God had provided and reading all those really gross and dark things isn't easy. It isn't easy to say the only way to God is through Jesus. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Nobody comes to the Father except through me. It isn't easy to deny oneself and take up the cross of Jesus. It isn't easy to get up early and learn all day. It isn't easy to do homework and study for tests and to keep track of so many different classes and to stay on top of all the work. But after this year, what isn't easy sure is better than the alternative. Staying stuck at home without even the option of going to school, in my opinion, is more difficult and certainly more worth the effort. Sticking with God and his plan and believing what Jesus says is not always easy, but it sure is worth it. Believe me, I've lived long enough to realize that I'm so blessed to have always lived in faith. Lived with faithful parents, lived surrounded by faithful grandparents, and to top that off, I've basically lived in church. And if you're like me and have loving parents, you may agree that it is so much easier to live with and within the boundaries of a faith and a community that is cheering you on. Living a life in faith is so worth it. I have shared this before, but it's been a while, so I'll share it to close out this year. How many of your stories are like mine, living with loving parents, with your responsibilities that have slowly been growing as you're getting older, knowing that you have all you need and plenty left over, not worrying about if you are loved and accepted? That's my life. If that's your life, do you think your testimony is weak? Or do you ever wish that you had a better testimony? Your testimony is of utmost importance. It is the most powerful testimony that anyone can give. I guarantee you that the people who have come out of a super terrible life wish they would have never had to live with those terrible days, only now to experience love. Our testimony is amazing. God has kept you safe in his arms, wrapped up in love all around you, so you can say with confidence, God is good. He has kept you safe. He wants you to experience his love and experience what good, godly life is like. And if you encounter someone who has had a difficult life, your testimony is exactly what they need. They need love. They need to know that even though the world is broken and there are bad things that happen, God will always love them the way they need to be loved. You have something that they long to have. They want to get out of the dark and into the light, and you have exactly what they need. You have life. Your testimony is of utmost importance. Life with Jesus is the best thing ever. Don't shy away from that. Don't shy away from telling people how much you are loved. Now, if your testimony goes something like this: my dad left my family when I was 1. My stepdad was a druggie and abusive just before he and my mom met, so life was a little rough as a kid. Struggling with school, with learning disabilities, never being good enough, longing to stay in one school long enough to have a deep and meaningful relationship with anyone. Well, that's my testimony too. I am both of those kids, literally at the same time. But I don't remember the brokenness because God has shielded me from that pain. Even though I did live that life within the midst of brokenness, the memories of my childhood are of being surrounded by people who loved and supported me. God has given me life. He has made my life complete even when I couldn't do anything about my surroundings. Now, as it turns out, my dad, turned into an awesome man of God. Someone completely different than who he was when he and mom first got married. God changed him and kept me safe with church family and with my own family. My parents loved God. My grandparents loved God. We all loved God, and God saved us from what it could have been. God is big enough to change you. And who knows, maybe your dedication to Christ would be enough to change the life of those around you. All you can do is live for God. Have God in your life. He will bless you even when others let you down. God will never leave. You just have to trust him to give you the best life. But you have to trust him enough to give your best life too. One simile and then we'll be done. Pretend God is a physical being. You and God walk together and you agree to walk alongside him. God, I'm going to walk alongside you and we're going to go over there. Now, God continually gives you love, support, food, things we would call blessings. He stays going in this one direction because it's where you agreed to go. And you decide to turn because you see something that you want to pursue. Now, God is continuing on his path that he said he was going down, but you aren't able to receive his blessings anymore because you have turned and gone a different way. God doesn't leave us. We choose to leave God. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. This is to my Father's glory, that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Now, remain in my love. If you keep my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and remain in his love. I have told you this so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. You are my friends if you do what I command. I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends. For everything that I learned from my Father, I have made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit. Fruit that will last. And so that whatever you ask in my name, the Father will give you. This is my command. Love each other. This is it, kids. This is all I have to say. In summary, live for God because it's totally worth it. He will always love you, but if you aren't walking with him, you'll miss out on his blessings because you won't be around him to get them. Live with God. Live fiercely for God.